look weird on this angle too, because it's like my arms are short. Like,
how about you relax there, Kobe White? Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us for another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. I'm your host, Pat the Designer. That is the man, the myth, the legend, the pettiest man alive, Mr. P.Kidd, all the way out in the fine land of Indiana.
suburbs, dog. I'm like 30 minutes from downtown. Like, people be like, how close are you to Indianapolis? I'm like, as close as you are. I was like, still 2.5 hours from you.
I was gonna say, what? Yeah, you basically just in South Chicago, pretty much.
That's all it is.
But hey, man, listen, lot to get into after yesterday, right? More coming out, all 22 dropping, and unfortunately, I have to, at least at week one, roll back something that I said a long time ago. It really was just last season. But yeah, we got to touch on that. Also, got to look at the whole Aaron Rodgers situation. Injury update to Kyler Gordon, or I don't know about an update, but like team update. But yeah, talk about that. Aaron Rodgers injury, crazy. We got to jump into what happened out in New York yesterday. 4 plays, and it's basically all over. And some of Josh Allen's struggles. I mean, there's a lot to get into football-wise. Football is back, but I'm going to tell you this right now. The number one thing that you see in a week one of football is that, man, I'm happy football is back. This was not trash. Hey, yo, when it came down to it, this was not good. What's going on with Anthony?
Hey, listen, I don't know.
Big as
Hey, I saw that. I did a double take. I was like, my man is tripping.
Pause. Hey, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Let's jump into the show, kid. Topic on the table today right now. Should the Chicago Bears cut their losses with Chase Claypool? And listen, y'all know that I am the person that said that we left Claypool to die. He was out there with Dead Arm Ben, No Money Mitch, and Kenny Throw a Pickett. My assessment on all 3 of those quarterbacks is still correct from that video.
Hey, stop hating on money making Mitch, my man.
Hey, money making Mitch ain't making that much money. Actually, he's still making good money. He's still making good money out here. But Chase Claypool and the all 22 is out now. Finally got a chance to sit down. I haven't gone through it in depth, but there were certain things that I was looking at for today's show to figure out some topics and different things for talking points, stuff like that, right? I can excuse you being lost in what I would call a very poor system. I can excuse you not being utilized, very much like DJ Moore wasn't utilized and only getting 2 targets. I will never excuse poor effort. I watched basically every Claypool down, and once I started seeing how bad he was, I started focusing on him, going through the first run through the all 22, some other things too, seeing kind of how Justin threw and what receivers were open, different things like that. But my God, I don't think that I've ever seen a worse effort on a football field in my life. And I watched a lot of Bears football. I mean, I have no answers for what we saw out of Chase Claypool. I do not believe that the Chicago Bears will cut their losses.
Absolutely not.
Because of what you get. You basically gave up the 32nd overall pick. That kind of is a first round pick, even though it is the first pick in the second round. That's still technically, right, that would have been a first round pick if Miami doesn't lose their pick. But my God, that's one of the worst performances. What the biggest lack of heart that I've seen in Chicago in a long time, at least on a football field. We saw some heartless moments from the Chicago Bulls last season. But I mean, like just in general, that was I don't even know how to describe how bad it was. And in a city built on effort, you will never stick around.
That's a fact.
This city is 110% built on, to take a quote from Stacey King, hard hustling muscle. And whether you like it or not, right, that's technically what Matt Eberflus is trying to preach. Now, whether he does preach that or not, that's a topic that we will also jump into, right, because there's something to be said on the system and the implementation of that. But I don't believe that they'll cut him. but he is not making it look good for him to stay at that number 3 receiver spot. It looks like if they do start to get this offense moving in the right direction, Darnell Mooney is absolutely your number 2 right now. And I think you got to watch out for Roschon Johnson or Tyler Scott to be your 3, which sucks because they're both rookies. What'd you see, Kid?
So we're going to just break down Chase Claypool. I'm gonna just answer it directly. Will they cut their losses? No, because that would be Poles having to admit that it was a mistake.
Well, he's done that. He's done that with some of these players.
Who?
We paid PJ Walker $2 million to leave.
We paid him $2 million to leave.
We paid him $2 million to leave.
$2 million is different. We can sit there. He paid him
Chase not making that much. Chase still on his rookie deal.
He paid him, but he gave up the pick. The pick
means valuable. A lot, but you're hurting. I think realistically, sending that message sounds good if you send that message through your whole locker room.
I get you, but the pick is more valuable than whatever his contract is.
Yeah.
And giving that pick up, and we've already seen this. There's no reason Velus Jones should be on this roster still, but
it is wild.
So Velus Jones is still on the roster. He was inactive. He wasn't injured apparently.
Yeah.
So he's a 3rd rounder. They ain't cut him.
Yeah.
So there's precedent that tells you that they're not going to cut their losses. They're going to try to figure this part out, right? Because it's about saving face to some degree. Cutting PJ Walker is just
at what point are you saving
money?
Here's my question to rebuttal that though. At what point are you saving face? Because if he plays like this, now granted, this is week 1, this is overreaction week, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, everybody's losing their mind. Half the NFL sucks today. The other half of the NFL's got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. That's basically what this week is.
The only good team that played good was 49ers.
Bro, listen, you
Brock Purdy looked like a goat out there. I mean,
bro, you start going through the list, and you're just like, wow, okay. But I just, not to say they should cut him now. I'm just asking the question. Cutting your losses now versus letting him walk at the end of the season, what changes? The conversation is the same. The timing of when we have the conversation is the only thing different. If you feel like he's going to be a problem, I should say.
I don't think he's going to be a problem. I don't think, I'm not going to give one game to be the whole, storyline on Chase Claypool. I don't think that's fair for him, right? So going through this season, I can live with. Now, if this is something that we see is a habit, then obviously that's a different story. Holler at me at week 8 to 10 or something like that. We'd have enough sample size to say, hey, dog, you just don't hustle.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna
lie. We
don't
like that. We don't like that no effort.
I ain't gonna lie to you. If he do that in week 2. Listen, I ain't got week 10 for you. You do that 2 weeks in a row.
But
I mean, literally, that was I was in, how like you see something and you just like, I'm embarrassed for you. I was embarrassed for Chase.
I feel you 110%. I'm embarrassed for Luke Getsy.
100%.
Like, he's the bigger issue than my weapons, because one, I don't even know if I have the right people to deliver the ball to these weapons yet, because I haven't even put him in the right position because my O-line sucks and stuff like that. On top of that, what the heck was this play calling? So, like, to me, it's so many other things that have to be corrected before we get down to Chase's effort. Because, like, if you look at how that game was going, you rewatched it. I've watched it twice at this point, going on my 3rd time, just because I'm trying to focus on a different person each time.
That's how I watch it. I watch it with a different core each time. Looking at a different core each time. But it's bad. But I think here's the thing, right? And here's where it does go to both, right? I'm not absolving Luke for what Chase does, but Chase is a part of the play calling working. What I mean by that is that screen pass that we're killing Chase for, if he blocks, the lead blocker is already upfield. That play actually works. We're looking at Luke Getsy and saying, finally, one of these screen passes works. But the fact that Chase Claypool basically gets mushed out of the way like he was a 5'5" running back doing his best, you know what I mean, is the difference between Darnell Mooney catching that pass and not catching that pass. The pass was there. The problem was Mooney's going down, taking a shot the second the ball gets near him.
That's a fact. No, I'm with you. All of it kind of goes hand in hand. I don't think that game plan fit our talent. if that makes sense. I don't think that game.
It fits the offensive line talent, which is a whole nother conversation. Because
That's a whole nother conversation.
boy, hey, listen.
But I'll be honest with you.
We
You
can
didn't
talk about them passes downfield, but
you didn't get Chase Claypool and DJ Moore there to throw a bunch of screen passes.
No, you didn't.
You don't need them for that, right?
No, I want to see them on the slants.
Exactly. And so that kind of goes to the question and goes to the conversation that they were having in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. Like we ain't throwing a bunch of deep passes. And they weren't. That's a legitimate conversation they were having. So at this point, it's like, yo, no. I think one of the things is his maturity is what showed. And that has always been a question for him.
Yeah.
He's been considered very immature for his age. And at this point, considering that he's on his rookie deal, but he's considering a veteran at this point. Was it 3 years?
Oh, yeah. No, this is 4th year in the league.
Fourth year. He's considered a veteran at this point. You expect more from him from a maturity standpoint.
I expect more. And that's the part for me that really sticks with me is, listen, we want to talk about guys taken out of a system, guys who were relegated to the back of the bench. And I see Mike in here. How would you feel if we ran the 10th? If that was like the 10th time we ran that play, doesn't matter. They were different plays. It wasn't the same play every time, but
similar
right,
plays.
Here's the issue with that.
You got to do your
job.
The
coach calls it, if your quarterback calls it, your effort impacts that play.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
The second the play is called, your effort impacts that play. I sat here all yesterday telling y'all Luke Getsy's game plan was trash. Guess what I saw today? Trash. It was bad. Like, I'm not sitting here absolving Luke Getsy of what we saw. But what I'm telling you is that, and this was a problem that I saw now looking at this and talking with Lance yesterday as he was breaking down what he saw as well, effort on both sides. The second half defensive effort was terrible. The entire game offensive effort from more than just Chase Claypool. Chase was just the worst of the bunch, which is impressive because it wasn't a great effort from the team as a whole. When you're not putting in the effort to at least make a play, I got a problem with that. I saw broken plays for the Packers that turned into 30, 40-yard gains just because somebody was like, hey, I got to make a play. I got to get out. It fell down. I bet. What was it? The tight end fall, right? The tight end didn't stop running his route because the ball was fumbled. Tight end was like, I got to get to my spot. I got to make a play. Guess what? He's wide open. Boom, big catch. Right? Like effort is 90% of this. You got to have the smarts. You got to know where to be. But if you're not going to go out there and run the play 110%, then the play ain't going to work. It doesn't matter.
But that also goes into this, and as you watch it, you'll probably see other people who probably didn't put forth that same effort. That goes into half the team didn't put forth the effort.
Yeah, listen,
we saw that, right?
Listen, who didn't put forth the effort? The Bears.
The Bears, right?
The coaching staff.
That becomes a coaching issue. Have you already lost your team? That they're not buying into your scheme. They're not buying into your principles, and it's not translating to the field. That becomes more of a Luke Eberflus issue. And now that's one of those things where we can single out a couple people. And you're absolutely right. We paid a lot and theoretically for Chase Claypool for us to be getting this, right? But we saw a lack of effort across the board. Who's the problem there?
I love that the chat is just naming screens that they saw on 22. Tunnel screen, bubble screen. They saw so many screens, dog. Oh God. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I don't know if I'm there. I don't know if I'm there all the way yet, but I remember training camp when I just went as a fan. And I mean, we were doing the breeze and stuff, but I wasn't there on the media side. And I remember last year they were, gotta go, get on the ball, get off the ball. We're here. Let's move. This year, walking to the ball, taking your time. Still a up-tempo pace, but it's not how it was last season. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think that being very different affected some of the conditioning that we saw in week 1.
How you
Last
practice is
year,
how you
the
play.
Bears were conditioned. They were in shape, ready to go. Boom. On the field. Let's go. Next play. We're running it. That didn't work. I know. Shut up. We got to run the next play. This year, like I keep going to this, but I was just watching them and it looked like both sides were physically gassed. And and then you see the shot of Tyree Stevenson. He's on the sideline looking like that one lady from Popeyes when the chicken sandwich fiasco was going on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's so many problems, but I do believe that effort is the beginning of it. I think that conditioning is an issue. I think that scheme is an issue, and it does point back to the coaching side of things. Is your team buying into the HITS principle? Remember, the H is for hustle. We was sitting here with 7 minutes to go, and me and you was like, hey, why they ain't on the ball yet?
The one thing that will never change, though, is we have always been known as a team to compete, even when we were trash. So the fact that that's now becoming a questionable thing, like we didn't even compete, that's again, it is on the players, but it's definitely on the coaching staff because you have
100%.
to get them ready for this. And so I know we've kind of beat this one, so we'll move on to the next one.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Belichick talk is so annoying when you're not Belichick. I hate hearing Matt Eberflus now. Whenever he talks, when you're not Bill Belichick, don't be giving me Belichick talk, bro. Like, don't be, bro. He said Monday, bro. I was sitting here. I talked with Courtney about this today too on the show. He said Monday, yeah, we got the guys in the room. They saw what they needed to see. We fixed it. What? What? What'd you fix? Y'all ain't been on the field yet. You ain't on the field till Wednesday. Practice is Wednesday.
He ain't fixed nothing. He ain't fixed nothing. Shout out to football CF. Well, I guess that's CFC Candy. CF Candy. All right.
Football,
anyway,
CF
thank you for the super chat.
Appreciate
Says, hey, Pat, I don't know if you know, or I don't know if you saw the Tim Jenkins video where he was calling out Getsy, saying he was inept. Red flag. If this team is bad, fans should demand a coaching change.
We can demand all we want. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to fire anybody based on one game, just like I'm not looking to ship out Chase Claypool based on one game. This is the thing about the Breeze. This is the thing about any show you see me on, any show you see Kidd on. I'm going to call you out for what happened on the field. That doesn't mean I'm calling for your job. I'm telling you to fix it. Now, if I call you out for what happened on the field too many times,
I will say this.
We might get to that point.
I will say this. I was never really bought in on the whole Eberflus thing, mainly because of the candidates we had available, or the candidates that could have been in our in the blue and orange. So at this point,
let's be real. The candidate that we all wanted, or that most
Eric
people
Bieniemy.
wanted,
was Eric
still available.
Yeah, it was Eric Bieniemy.
He's still available. Like, nobody's giving him a job yet.
Yeah. So like at this point, like, but here's the thing. I was not big on that because I wasn't big on hiring another defensive coach to try to make a high-powered offense in 2023. The one thing that I picked up quickly as I started to study football is the game has changed, and the coaches that are very successful now have embraced the fact that if you are going to be a defensive head coach, you need to hire a really freakishly good OC. And if you don't do that, you need to get out the way. And that's what they've done. Every defensive coach had a really good OC.
But you got to find the right tree. That's the problem.
That's true. I'm not trying to make it seem
you
trivial.
know what I mean? Like,
I'm not trying to make it seem like it's easy to do. Right?
And even I think even to that, right? Like, listen, the Bills were one of the best offenses in the NFL last year. The dude that we thought was the reason for that was in New York.
Look what he did.
There's still, you know what I
mean?
Look
what he did.
And look what he did on Sunday. Yeah, I mean,
no, Sunday was a dud. I give him that.
Look what he did on
changed
Sunday.
The entire trajectory. Like, we still think the Giants can make the playoffs, especially given their division.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm with you.
You know, so like he's still a good coach. Like, you can see that he knows what he's doing offensively. Does he have the talent there to execute it? Totally different story. And I'm not sitting there trying to defend Danny Dimes, but it was it was 40-0, dog. You can't put up a goose egg.
Now, I think this is interesting. Football Candy comments this and says 100% not based on, appreciate the super chat as always, 100% not based on one game, but if the pattern repeats, especially with horrendous managing process, you cannot give them a chance with another QB coaches. I will say this. if we get to the point where we have to go out and Justin Fields basically, craps the bed 17 weeks this season, like it would have to be horrendously bad for the Bears to not even pick up his 5th-year option. Because guess what? They can still draft a quarterback and pick up Justin Fields' 5th-year option. You can do both. But it would have to be so horrendously bad. But these coaches will not get another shot with another quarterback.
No,
I don't believe that at all.
No,
I think that if you can't make a Justin Fields work, they won't get another shot.
I don't know about that part, because I do see some reluctance in things that he has to work on, but I don't think Eberflus will get another shot just based off of how he managed the organization. From your head coach managing everything else to get your team ready, I don't think that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
I can't sit here and listen. It's one game. Everything seems like the sky is falling. The Bears aren't being managed bad. The Bears aren't. The organization this is the best the Bears have ever been run. Even with that loss to the Packers, even just from a right, because we did the whole bring in John Fox, get the structure, get the organization, all of that, and we still saw a blank show when it came down to managing a new quarterback coming. I mean, John Fox basically didn't get a quarterback. You had a year of Jay and Mitch, and they got him up out of here. But I think the Bears are being run well. I can't complain yet on how the team is being managed because we've only seen 1 week of it. And I guess what? If we get the week 10, week 11, and it's still more of this, yeah, okay, the team's being managed poorly. I don't agree with
Jacksonville fired a coach like halfway through the season because they ain't like the way he was managing the team.
Nah, he was rapey.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Come on.
Can you say that? I don't think you can say that.
Let's keep it a buck. No, it's what he was.
No. I'm just saying for our monetization, I don't think you can say that. Let's YouTube being weird nowadays. I'm just saying he was a little gray area, or no, he was a little red area. Whatever he was, it was wrong. All right.
Can you say gropey?
You can, yeah. I don't
Gropey.
Gropey feels past it. He was a bad guy.
Gropey feels wrong. Bad guy. Hey, I think he's still out there in Indianapolis doing the same stuff too. I don't know, man.
Hey, Indianapolis. I'm not in Indianapolis. All right.
But no, like I'm not gonna say after one game. What I think here's what irritates most fans and me included.
Slimy. I like that.
With slimy. He's a little slimy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm uncomfortable with that as well. But
let's just leave it alone.
Let's just leave it alone. Let's move past it. Here's what irritates most fans. Matt Eberflus is a head coach that deals with people on an individual basis. That's not how football teams normally are run. At least the elite of elites. You get your here and there guys, right? Andy Reid deals with people on an individual basis. He wants to know you. He's going to deal with you different than he's going to deal with him. And yes, but like you think about your top coaches, right? They just say, hey, listen, you on the train or you're not. Bill Belichick treated Tom Brady like he was the rest of the room. Now, granted, Tom Brady left and still had success. I think that there has to be an evolution of what people think football is, because you're seeing less and less of those coaches be successful. Right? When it's everybody's on the train. If you're not on the train, we getting up out of here.
That was Super Bowl teams run, though.
That was the past, though.
I mean,
you're not seeing that now.
A team like that. Andy Reid's just not wild.
Andy Reid deal with people on a very individual basis. J-Mac was like, I thought, everybody. He did say he don't talk to rookies though. He did. He still
got the old school.
He said he still don't talk to rookies, but right, he deal with Pat different than he dealt with Tyreek, different than he deals with Kelsey, different than he deals with right, and that's kind of how Flus is. That's modern coaching. That's how what's old boy Mike McDaniels is. Mike McDaniels? Right? Miami head coach Mike McDaniels is. That's how, like, you're starting to see that newer generation come in, and it's just not what football is used to. So when we see Nate Davis getting treated differently than we see Justin Fields getting treated, and we see it doesn't sit right with us. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it don't sit right with me either. I'm not sitting here acting like I'm above y'all. I'm with you. But I'm just asking, this is what we have to ask. Is the way that things were the way we want our team to be run?
Is the way, say that one more time.
if the way that things were, so as football as a whole, is the way that things were the way we want our football team to be run? Because I want my team to be with the times, not behind the times.
I think the culture that you instill and you establish at your team should be very much of the past, where it was like all hands on deck, all in, and no one's above the team. I think how you go about executing in what our focus is needs to be more 2023, and that's offense. You look at Mike McDaniels as a good example. Very creative guy, very creative on how he approaches the game, but he's an offensive guru,
offensive minded head coach.
Offensive minded head coach. So, when you have an offensive minded head coach who's putting a lot of time and attention on that, I think we all can realize that we are no longer in the era of football where you want your defense to carry you.
Yeah.
And I think that trickles down all the way. It's like the defense now was like, hey, we can sit out here and get these stops, but you ain't scoring.
Yeah.
And there's people on the defense that will never score a touchdown. So that becomes a thing. So to answer your question, the culture, yes, but how we go out and execute it, no. Like we shouldn't be out there taking.
But I think the problem is you have to update your culture with the players you have, right? Like you do the Bill Belichick is seeing, now granted, doesn't have Tom Brady. That plays a big part into it, but he's seeing less success with the whole everybody's the same, even at the end kind of Tom's tenure. Right, it was a very up and down process. Now he still won some Super Bowls in him, but
I got some pushback on that, bro. The pushback I got is one, talent. He's accomplished a lot with the talent that he had. Right now, he had 1 year. Last year was a very unlike Bill to have to go through that. Right, that was very. But I expect them to do good this season. I expect them to compete. I expect them to win 8 to 9 games this season because that's how a real well-coached Bill Belichick team was. And you also have to think of pedigree and respect.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick walks through this door for the Chicago Bears. People gonna get on their grind.
100%. But
right?
But I think
I don't even know where Eberflus came from.
But here's the thing, right? You have to have Indianapolis. You have to have a special mindset with it, though, right? Like you have to be like, I'm willing to deal with that.
I don't think you have
players in the modern era. You got a lot less players now that are willing to deal with that. And I think there's a lot of times where players go over there and they be like, I could deal with that. And then we be like, hey, man, what happened to him? He ain't in the league no more.
But see, that's the thing. In football, that's what happens. If you got a coach like Bill who has that resume, there's a good chance where you don't get right here. You ain't in the league no more.
Yeah.
It ain't like the NBA where you can bounce around and find yourself on a couple. You may not be in the league anymore. If this was a Patriot ran team, Chase Claypool may not be in the league to see what happens for his next contract. He might be a third string. He might be third on the depth chart at that point. His whole career changes.
He really heading toward a Juju Smith-Schuster out here.
Yeah, so
now Juju ended up getting the ring, but
I'm saying like he doesn't have the resume that Bill had.
Yeah, he can't come in. He can't come in. Hey, that's why I said the Bill Belichick talk irritates my soul.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna get in there. We're on to Indy. Shut up, dog. Figure out Green Bay first.
He doesn't garner the same respect as some of these other head coaches and even offensive coordinators who've been around for a while, because I don't think they believe in what he's trying to put forth. I just don't. I just don't. And it's not like the Colts had a dominant team to the point where they won a lot. Like the Colts has been in a very up and down situation. They ain't even paying their runner. They best player right now.
Here's the only annoying part. Well, I'll agree with what you're saying. You can't preach hits and be individualistic.
Facts.
It's not going to work. You're contradicting your system. Hits is all hands on deck. Everybody go, get in there, old school, run, jump. When I say jump, you say how high, and you got a lot of young black dudes in there.
But I believe you, Michael. Remember the ref? I believe you. I didn't see it, Michael, but I believe you. And that's evil Luke right there. Hey, listen, his principle. But Nate Davis, you don't have to practice.
He said, bro, hey, listen, I don't care who Michael Jordan is. I'm arguing that ref on that call 210%. I'm getting thrown out of that game, bro. There's no way you go look at Michael Jordan in the face and go, I didn't see it, Michael, but I believe you. Nah, bro. You like, taking me up. I'm out of here, bro. Hey, bro, I'm out of here, bro. Like, you're not. I need to see that full play. I feel like that was cut up for 90s propaganda, something else, right? I feel like that was cut up for 90s propaganda because or early 2000s propaganda, because there's no way that they was just cool with that, bro. And the announcers just, when you're Michael Jordan, you know, nah, bro, not at all.
Sam, I'm sorry. I don't want to see the full clip. I want to believe the lie. I want to believe that Mike had that much pull.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you,
Mike had that much pull.
Fam, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I heard Chris Webber say this. I do want to get into the Kyler Gordon update, but I'm gonna tell you this real quick. I heard Chris Webber say this. I had to find the gang. As again, Chris Webber, I think he was on. He's either on the Warriors or on Washington. He wasn't on Sacramento yet. And they were playing. No, he was on Sacramento because they were in Philly. They were in Chuck was in Phoenix.
Chuck was in Phoenix.
So he was on Sacramento. So they play in this game. And Chuck tries to make a move. They call a travel on him or something. And Chuck is going off. No, he called a foul on him. He went up, said it was a foul. They don't call it. He get the ball back, go up, make the layup, come down the other end. He cussing the ref down the whole way. He come back down. He's still cussing the ref out. He come back down. He's still cussing the ref out. They finally call timeout. And you hear Chuck say, I scored 20,000 points in this building right here. You can't tell me what a foul is. Bro, when I tell you Chuck spent the rest of the game at the free throw line, bro, when I tell you he spent the whole game. So there are some players that do get that treatment. Listen, that's the moral of the story. Tom Brady.
That's a bar.
I scored 20,000 points in this building right here. You can't tell me what a foul is, bro. I swear, this man got every foul the rest of the way. I had to go find the game when he told the story. I was dying laughing, bro.
Let's get into Kyler Gordon.
Let's get into Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon, just quick injury update. So he is dealing with the injury. I asked Courtney Cronin about this. She did say that Kyler Gordon, basically what the coaches are saying is that it doesn't look good. But I don't know what the extent of it is. Basically, it means that the hand is probably messed up, and we'll find that out tomorrow. But I don't know if that means he can't wear a club. I don't know if that means that he can't go out there and make it work. They are already saying, though, that they feel confident about Josh Blackwell playing that spot. Now, Josh Blackwell, not as good as Kyler Gordon, but I mean, he's competent there. He's somebody that you don't have to worry about all game. He is not Kendall Vildor.
Okay.
I can guarantee that you will not see Kendall Vildor there. Like, he's not that guy. So that's the latest that we got on the Kyler injury. I mean, that's a blow to the DB room, to the defense as a whole. But I mean, listen, I could sit here and tell you why Kyler is going to struggle, why that's a struggle for the team, and why this team is going to struggle without him being there in the slot and blah, blah, blah. None of it matters if you ain't getting pressure. None of it matters if you're not getting to the quarterback. We had 6 quarterback pressures in total, 1 sack. We on par to, we're already down 3 in the sack committee.
I'm trying to see if anything else came out in regards to it, but no, you're right.
Nah, you won't see nothing till tomorrow. The injury report drops tomorrow. Again, another thing where you being Belichick out here. Like, listen, there's no government secrets in there. Jesus. That's all I'm saying. Pat, will you have a chance to speak? Eberflus Getsy, no RPOs. Vet saying the play calling is inadequate. QB school ripping into Getsy about routes. I mean, listen, we talked about that yesterday. We'll talk about it a little bit kind of when we get to the Josh Allen conversation as well.
He's been getting it. He's been getting it since.
Oh, Getsy getting cooked right now.
He's been getting demolished, bro.
Yo, I gotta add that to my soundboard. Oh boy, was that Adrian Broner who said that? It was the boxer. He's like, I'm getting cooked. Hey, yo,
yeah,
Getsy out here getting cooked, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
They served him up real nice on Monday morning. It was like,
hey, bro. Hey, when Mike Greenberg is cooking you getting cooked. Mike Greenberg, one of the nicest people in the world, bro. Like that. Hey, listen, we'll keep it going, man.
Appreciate your support, football.
Hey, appreciate your support. We definitely gonna get into it. Let's jump into this though. I kind of have to be a little bit more careful, even though I still kind of pretty much said what I wanted to say on the Chicago Bears podcast. But I do want to say this. I knew Packers fans were kind of garbage, just as people in general. But what I saw on Twitter yesterday after Aaron Rodgers, in my mind, the second I saw it, maybe it's because of my eye, whatever it is, I instantly was like, this dude ruptured his Achilles. Or tore it. Like you could see the foot pop, right?
Yeah.
When I saw we're not going to get a pick now, dang it. At least we traded Aaron. At least we don't have to deal with the injury here. I didn't realize y'all were on Raptors fans level. Like, I knew y'all were garbage as like general human beings for the most part, but I didn't realize y'all were on Raptors fans level. Like, that's scum of the earth, bro. Like, somebody's career might, like Aaron Rodgers is saying he wants to come back, he wants to play again. You know how hard that is? This man is not, first off, he's 40 years old. He's not trying to come back from like a sprained ankle. This man has to go through the rehab to get back to being a normal person and then push his body to try and get back to NFL shape. And then he has to get in playing shape, not just NFL shape.
I like the fact that he walked off for that small.
Me too. Hey, listen, I'm not getting carted out of here. I'm walking off under my own power. But, bro, I swear, like, listen, I hate Aaron Rodgers. I literally hate Aaron Rodgers. Like, the football player, right? He has destroyed my football team my entire life. I went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Couldn't believe it. Maybe Jordan Love is in there now. We'll see. I want to see what he's doing week 2, but we'll see. But dog, I hate that so much because the one thing that I will pride Chicago on,
classic,
no matter where you go, we kind of rock with you. No matter what team you're on, you always have that connection to Chicago. I see Robin Lopez now. I think he's on Orlando, and I'd be like, "Hey, Rolo, I miss Rolo, man. We didn't win none with Rolo."
Bobby Portis.
I like Bobby for different reasons. Hey, listen, I like
Portis still get love in Chicago.
Hey, I like the fact that Bobby Portis was walking away. He was like, "Bruh, leave me alone before I hit you in your eye." And then he punched that man in the eye and took his spot and cooked in it. But it's just one of those things where I can't vibe with that. I can't. It took the Packer fan hate to a whole different level for me. I was like, oh, I hate y'all as like people now. Like, this is a whole different thing.
Some classless people. And I think that's what it really boiled down to. Like, you didn't expect them to see someone who got you all a championship, right? Got you a Super Bowl, won MVP. You all have been competitive all of my life. But you sit there and you denigrate him when it's time to move on. Like, what you expect? Like, that's not cool. Keep yourself above
it's just one of those things where I actually love being a Chicago fan in those moments because I know how we are. Well, Chicago's the first city. If somebody get hurt on the other team and you stand up with cheering, hey, walk off on your own power. Props to you. Wish you nothing but the best. It's a game. We got work tomorrow. And I swear, like, to me, those are the cities that get that.
Blue collar city.
And you would think Green Bay would get that, but I guess when you stuck in there and all you do is, cheese or whatever. I don't know what the heck they do. Pack meat.
It's the farm town. I mean, come on.
Like, bro, like, I'm sorry. Like, you should be the first ones. Like, hey, he got up, he walked away. That was disgusting to me. I did love this. Olin Kreutz. I don't know if that's Olin. That you? I always ask this. That you, Olin? Tell J-Mac I said what up. But no, I love the story that they said because they were giving out free drinks if the Jets lost at a bar. These mugs started going crazy ordering the drinks. Second Aaron got hurt, they cheered. And the Jets won. So everyone had to pay.
How's karma for you?
Hey, go tend your farm after that.
I wonder what that bill was.
That sickens me as a fan, bro. It really does. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a fan of a team that'll put it all on the line, that sickens me as a fan. You know what it was, bro. They was drinking freaking spotted cow. which is actually a really good beer. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I've never had it. Don't want
Spotted
it.
Cow is pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the name alone says no. Moving on to the other side of that matchup, we got the Buffalo Bills who opened up against the Jets, as we just mentioned. Aaron Rodgers goes down. You think this would be a layup? Nah, that Jets defense said not today. And Josh Allen goes out there and looks very much like a deer in headlights. I mean, two of those picks was just god awful. Overthrew the man into double coverage. Like, you have to have precision with that. And I know I've praised him as being accurate QB.
Hey, that first one was wild.
I've praised him as being a good QB, a top 5 QB. I still think he is.
Yeah, he's still
I still think he is. One game doesn't change that. Now, two, we talking about a different story. However, he looked real bad at a certain point. He got it together. He looked real bad. Now, here's the question: was he just bad, or was the Jets defense just that good?
The Jets defense is that good. I do 110% believe that the Jets defense is that good.
They are literally one QB away from a Super Bowl. That team is loaded.
It is 100%. Like here's the thing. I predicted them to make the Super Bowl. Clearly, I think that prediction is now over with. Somebody else is probably going to be there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them there, if Zach Wilson just figures out how not to mess up. If Aaron Rodgers is sitting there, okay, this is what you want to do in this. I wouldn't be surprised, because literally it's just don't mess up. That defense is that good. You don't have to go out there and put up 45 points, because the defense is going to make sure that the team on the other side puts up 22. Can you get me 23?
If he goes out there and does it right,
he can revive his career.
All he has to do is go out there and just perform like the pick that he was drafted as. If he can just do that and they get to the playoffs, you don't have to worry about it. Now, he probably ain't gonna play next season, but they're gonna get some trade value for him.
But I think here's the real question, and it goes back to what Football CF was asking about when it comes down to preparation in the QB school and all these guys questioning Getsy. I want to make sure that we're questioning everybody the same way. Is preseason important, or do we need to change our brains to what college football is, where basically your first 3-4 weeks don't matter? Reason why: Bengals looked horrible, Chiefs looked horrible, Ravens won and kind of still looked horrible, Vikings looked horrible, even though I think they will be horrible. Bucks had a.
I don't think the Chiefs looked horrible, Pat. I think you saw the lack of talent they had. Like Kadarius Toney. And you saw Nagy, Patrick Mahomes looked like Patrick Mahomes. He threw some dots. My man has several passes. No, but I don't even have a ball right here. It went through my man's hand. Hey, dog, pay me $1 million to miss a catch.
I get you. But what I'm saying is, the team as a whole, you didn't see that same Chiefs team that would go out. Like, realistically, the Lions didn't look great. And the defense looks more improved.
That defense looked good.
The defense looks more improved than that pass rush. A little bit. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little more nervous. That pass rush,
nice. And I gotta admit, Gibbs looked pretty good. I see why they picked him as high as they did.
Listen, you're still not gonna pay him in 4 years. Like,
you talking about 4 years down the line, baby. I'm talking about today.
Listen. I know they philosophy. They cut both they running backs they had last season. But no, I mean, like, as you go through, right? Like, when you start to talk about those teams you thought were good, the Jaguars looked pretty good that day, even though the Colts kind of kept that thing close. The 49ers looked like the elite team that they're supposed to be. The Seahawks, we think they're going to be a decent little playoff team, and they looked god awful.
Or right? Did Geno Smith finally come back down to earth?
Maybe, but I think that the statement that I'm making is right. Like, the Eagles barely get over the Patriots. Week 1, basically, like we both said this. Coming out of it, we're just like, that's some awful football. So with guys like Josh Allen played awful football yesterday. Josh Allen probably saw what? I don't even know how many preseason snaps he saw. I would bet it wasn't that many.
No. And I get you. I totally get where you're going with it, especially when you say, we sit there, we hold the Bears to the fire about not practicing in preseason or not playing in preseason, things of that
Yeah.
nature.
Hey, that's
Versus
a
some
lot
of
of
these other
teams that we
teams.
can hold to the fire.
A
The
lot of teams we
difference
can hold to
is
the
we
fire.
don't know if the Bears are going to then go off and win after that. That's the
I
problem.
will say this. Josh Allen, I think he got over 200 million. Did he already get his contract?
Yeah, he got his deal already.
Deshaun Watson got his contract.
Yes.
Joe Burrow, they knew they was going to get his contract. Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes got his contract.
Yeah.
A lot of teams that look bad, who I give excuses to, are people who've invested $250 million into one guy. Guess what? I don't want to see him in a game that don't matter. And at the same time, they're proving QBs.
Well, Burrows was a little bit different. Burrow was injured, so there's that. But
hey, but he's proving QB.
Hey, listen,
Like,
I
you don't
get
question Joe Burrow at all.
I get you, but it's not questioning.
I don't get that in Chicago.
No,
at
but
no
it's
position do I get that.
It's not questioning what the player is. It's questioning what value should I place on week one. Because the NFL doesn't seem to value week one.
For those teams, it's different. For us, we need to value it because
I mean, when does it stop? The
When
Panthers didn't play. The Panthers didn't play Bryce a ton in preseason, right? He's a rookie, right? Like when do we stop with? Okay, what team has to play? What teams don't have to play? Right? Like I think, like literally, clearly, it mattered a little bit because the Bills look like they can't play football by the end of the season. Will they? Sure. But I just think that
Green Bay played most of theirs. They played they played Jordan Love a good sample size to see some things, and they looked prepared. So I think it's a very situational thing. I don't think you could sit there and make this blanketed statement like, hey, the NFL doesn't care when everybody in the NFL ain't on the same level. It's legit levels to this. So some people
I agree with you.
Reps.
I agree with you.
This week one for the Bears matters way more for them than week one for the Bills. Because the Bills, we have confidence are going to make the playoffs. We still trying to figure out who the hell we are.
But I that's the thing, right? Like realistically, week one matters. Week one matters if we lose week two. Like it still matters if I'm pissed about it. It still matters. It's a double loss in your division. But it matters a heck of a lot more if we lose to the Buccaneers.
She don't know me that well when she made that statement.
Did Mitch prove himself? He went to the playoff.
Hey, she don't know me that well to make that statement. That's a whole different argument right there.
He still think Mitch got some room to grow.
Hey, I'll tell you this. Mitch got a winning record.
He still think Mitch got room to grow.
Mitch got a winning record. That's all I know. I'm gonna troll y'all forever off Mitch. Y'all better stop playing with me.
I mean, you can't troll me. Like,
I mean, you know
listen.
me.
Listen,
I'm gonna upset
you can't,
them. I ain't gonna upset you.
You can't troll me because I was there when you said to bench him. And that man Mitch said,
that man stared that INT down hard. That man stared that INT down like he meant it.
Who was the backup at that point? Who was the backup at that point?
I don't even care. Dog,
was that Foles?
Yeah, it was.
No, Foles was with Justin, wasn't he? I don't know who that was, bro.
He stared that thing down so hard. I was like, dang, dog.
Bro, I swear. I just remember whoever the backup was. I think it was Foles. I just remember him going,
oh, man.
What are you looking at, bro? Like,
hey, dog. All I remember is Pat looked at me. I was like, you got to go.
Bro, you know what I mean? Like, I saw it.
He didn't even say nothing. I was like, you got to
go. Bro, it was one of these.
I was like, hey, dog.
Oh, it was Foles. That was in the Atlanta game. That's exactly what that was. It was Foles. He came in and ended up winning that game.
Hey, hold on, wait. You said Mitch never threw a pick six? I don't know if that's a fact, but if that's a fact, then Mitch has the weirdest career I've ever seen. He has a very
Mitch never threw a pick six.
That's crazy to me if that's true. I don't think it's true.
I don't think that's true. I think he threw a pick six on that play.
I don't think that's true. But if
maybe
it is,
maybe it wasn't. Man. Maybe he got close and Buddy fell down. But I know all I saw was the backup QB looking at him as he came to the sideline. I think it was Foles just like,
hey, because you said all that stuff. Mitch never had this much. Mitch got more yards and TDs right now. I just let you know that right now. Well, he might got more yards. I don't think he had more TDs.
Hey, I don't care what nobody say. Mitch terrible.
Hey, and Mitch got an award that Justin Fields will never get.
The MVP. Hey, you can't
Nickelodeon most valuable player, man.
Hey, I'm sorry. You can't give a black dude the MVP.
That's a fact. You can't.
Yo, hey, yo.
Ooh.
You can't give a black dude the MVP. You playing a dangerous game there. But no, I just look at week 1 of the season and I see a bunch of teams that we are pretty sure are going to be competitive, are going to look a lot better than what they looked. And none of listen, I mean, even the teams that we're like, oh, well, they were 9-8 last year, so they can do this. 9-8 is most of the league. When you look at the division,
based off 9-8, you got to know your personnel, baby. You got to know your personnel. When you got all new personnel, you need them reps.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. CJ Stroud didn't play much of preseason.
No, hey, guess what?
Like that's why I'm saying, where do you stop it at? Because like, is the Bears the threshold? Is a 9-8 team the threshold? Is a 7-9 team or 7-10 team the threshold? Like, where do we stop at? You need to go out there and get reps, because there's a lot of teams that were right down there high in that draft with us, and they was like, nah, bro, you're not going out there, because if we start the season without you, we ain't got nothing to start the season with. The season's over.
A lot of that's going to change. I think a lot of that I think the start of this season,
hey, bro,
proves to you that you do need more reps, or
it started this way last year,
or you actually need to practice more, like, and really practice, because the Bears are not the only team that people are that you hear out there saying, oh, these people ain't practicing. The Bears are not the only team that you got that with. Now, those other teams may have players that will perform better at the end of the day, but they're not the only team. I want to keep it Bears focused, because we can't control nothing else. We can't control the Bears either. But like, realistically,
I mean, well, we were talking about it because of how bad Josh Allen looked.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. This ain't a you. It's more of a chat fan base thing, and people who are chiming in, because it's easy for us to sit there and pinpoint everything else. But the Bears, as far as what we needed to practice. We needed to play.
Hey Pat, what did Foles say to him? What are you?
Hey,
what are you looking at?
My best Nick Foles moment is when my man was yelling on the sideline and saying, "These plays are not working."
Hey, the Nagy!
That man threw the clipboard. These plays are not working, and he was only been in the game. I think that was the first time he had got in.
No, it was the second game he had got in, because the Bears' offense was moving. No, it wasn't that the plays wasn't working. He killed the drive. The Bears got the offense moving, and Matt Nagy called a timeout inexplicably, and he was like, "What are you doing? Like, we were rolling. We got to keep going." But Nick Foles been there before. You know what I mean? Listen,
Foles has been there before. So that's why when people be like, "Mitch didn't do this," I'm like, Mitch was better. But even Nick Foles was like, I don't know what this guy's doing. And Nick Foles is Matt Nagy's guy.
Hey, let me ask you this.
They sat on the plane together. They didn't sit on the plane the rest of that season, reportedly, because of how bad it was getting.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Nick Foles not in the league anymore.
How long till no, I think he out now. How long till the black guy in Philly gets a statue in front? Oh, he didn't win though.
I'm about to say, wait,
he didn't win. No, never mind. He
won something I didn't know about?
I had to think about that. You're just trying to make a point.
Hey, you lost me for a good minute. I'm about to say, hold on, what happened?
Hey, bro.
Hey, my eyes almost sweated for a second. I was like, the heck happened in Philly that they need a statue?
Hey, they gave Nick Foles a statue in Philly, bro.
Hey man, the Philly special. That's that. Hey man, he came in through a die. I feel so bad for Carson Wentz.
Hey, I feel bad for I don't feel bad for Carson Wentz. I feel bad for what's the coach that's in Jacksonville now? Why can't I think of Jacksonville's head coach? Because they fired him for saying, "Nah, Jalen Hurts is the way we need to go." They was like, "You can't play Jalen Hurts." He's like, "No, we need to play Jalen Hurts. You can't play Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl 2 years later."
Hey, but that's why he
Doug Peterson. Shout out to Torian.
That's why he got another coaching gig. Because
bro. Hey, and instantly got up in there. Set hut, touchdown. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Now they did go through a losing streak last year. They must getting clapped last year, but they made it to the playoffs. Hey man, there's a lot of question marks still on this team. The good thing is that tomorrow's Wednesday. Wednesday starts everything over. Wednesday is looking ahead at next week. Wednesday is how do we fix the issues that we saw versus Green Bay, not just talking about them in a room. Hey, did you see what you did there? Yeah, I saw it. Okay, cool. Let's not do that anymore. Great job, coach. We love you. Shut up. Let's start getting ready here for the Buccaneers. All you can do, the one thing that I do love about football, all you can do is turn the page. Whether it's turning the page on the week or turning the page on the season, it is methodical. And there's nothing that said that more than seeing Aaron Rodgers' injury last night. I was sitting here contemplating an NFL without Aaron Rodgers. And I was like, bruh, that's going to be insane. I haven't seen that in months. And all while I'm thinking about that, Zach Wilson's trying to figure out how to score a touchdown. It moved on that quick. So you got to turn the page on this, whether it's on the game. For some fans, they turn the page on the season. Hey, I can tell. I will say this. I can tell a lot of y'all sim in Madden. Y'all be simming whole seasons when you bad in Madden.
So I do have to ask this because we're talking about it, and come next week we have to start talk. We have to come tomorrow. We have to start doing it anyway. I won't be on the show next tomorrow because of my meeting. So got to ask you, Tampa coming up. First day we actually start breaking down and preparing for them. What do you expect? Did you see the Tampa game?
I did see the Tampa game.
Tampa's defense looked pretty good.
I said they was gonna be. There was nothing to say that they wouldn't, and they added Kalijah Kancey. The Bears are gonna have to do a lot of help with protection, a lot of scheme help. You got to scheme a better blocking plan. You just have to. And what you did versus the Packers, who have a good defensive line, it will not be good enough. And I'm gonna tell you this right now: if the answer is wait till Tevin Jenkins gets back, we're in trouble.
I do believe, that's a fact. I hope not. I do believe the game plan is going to be you're going to expect short passes.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you.
They get after it.
I think they're gonna. I think, but they get after it and they'll overcommit. Justin Fields can get away with that. I think this week is going to be force it to DJ. At least I hope. I thought this a lot last year. I thought this pretty much until week 7. And then all of a sudden Justin Fields just like, I guess I'm running now. But I think that this week is going to be a commitment to force it to DJ. And you're going to see a lot more yards. I think you're going to see a lot more plays downfield. I also think Baker Mayfield. Here's the thing about the cover 2.
I think Baker Mayfield going to carve that up, though.
No, because the cover 2 makes average quarterbacks look bad. And Baker Mayfield is average.
The cover 2 makes average quarterbacks look bad when you actually play the cover 2 well.
Well, when you get pressure on them. That's the real question. Is there going to be a better scheme from Allen Williams? Is there going to be a better scheme from a Yannick Ngakoue or for a Yannick Ngakoue? In my mind, I think that this is a game because I've seen the Bears adjust. The one thing I can say about the team last season, they did adjust. They did adjust their game plan week by week. They just didn't have the talent for it to win. I do think they're going to adjust.
You see what I did there?
Turning the page. I don't know what
you're
doing.
No. You see how slow it is? It's like turning the Titanic, right? You don't get what's happening? That's how the Bears adjust. Slowly. We want to see in-game adjustments, Pat. I don't want to lose the game. We're going to adjust it. Then it's a team that plays a totally different way with a totally different dynamic QB.
That's what irritated me about week 1. That's why I look at the head coaches as a preparation issue as well, because we saw that last year. Last year, the Bears were actually really freaking good at halftime adjustments. That's why I said it on the when we did the live call, and I was like, listen, they're probably going to make some halftime adjustments, come out better. Nothing changed.
They did.
Nothing. It was like, let's try it.
Man, it was trash, dog. Like, hey.
Let's try it.
All I'm saying is this. I expect.
Let's try it. That is a dark line. Turning the Titanic is crazy.
Hey, I'm glad y'all caught that double entendre right there.
A lot of dead people in that there, kid. Jesus.
Hey, this was 100 years ago. At this point. At this point,
as long as you are part of a tragedy that we can read about in history books, jokes are free.
Hey, my grandkids don't even know what the Titanic is. They ain't born yet. So exactly.
Yo, I had some questions.
Exactly. Anyway, all I'm saying is this. I expect this to be short passes, get the ball out quick because they defense is smothered. I think their defense is just as good as Green Bay's. I see that Justin Fields has the issue with that.
Yeah.
And so I'm expecting that he's not going to have enough time. He may not have enough time for those plays to develop to have those deep shots. This is what I'm saying. So I'm expecting that to be the case. So I'm not going to be upset if the game plan is short passes or horizontal game.
Biggest change that I think we're going to see. I think that even if he is not the starter, Roschon Johnson will be the number one back that day.
I think he's going to be the number one back. I think the lead receiver is going to be Cole Kmet.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm cool with it. Don't get me wrong.
You want to know what irritates me most of all? I'm not going to lie to you. What's the biggest touchdown play that we saw in preseason?
Oh, I mean, DJ Moore is a screen pass.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore.
You didn't run one screen pass to DJ. You running all these screens. You can't throw one to the number one receiver.
I got nothing, baby.
You know what I
mean? I got nothing.
Get the pencil out, make the adjustments. Hey man, follow us on everything at Pat the Designer. You can follow him at P.Kidd1. Appreciate you guys for showing love.
Before we get off,
I
want everybody to do me a big favor. I want everybody
in here tuned in to the live call on Sunday.
I want you to tune into the live call on Sunday. I mean, we got a couple days for that, but you only get one day to do this. I want everybody to wish Pat a happy anniversary.
Oh, well, appreciate you, brother.
I want Pat to actually relish in that moment. He's worked hard. So you all clap it up. My man, hey, listen, marriage is hard. He's out here making it work.
I'm clapping for my wife. I'm clapping for my wife because y'all already know how much time I spend on here with you all. That's time now with her. So.
If everyone could do that for me, just wish Pat a happy anniversary.
I appreciate y'all, man. 8 years out here,
man. With that'd be great.
8 years out here, man. Hey, listen,
you can't have here for that.
You can have happy marriages. Stop listening to these old young thought processes on marriage. I should never be happy in my marriage. Shut up.
It's hard work. It's hard work, but anything will work if you work hard at it.
It's hard work, but anything will work if you work hard at it. That a Jay-Z line?
Nah, I just said it.
That's a bar. That's a
Love you, bro. Happy anniversary.
Hey, I'll let y'all later, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. Don Burr, the jersey will get to you. I promise that. I haven't forgot about it. I'm not avoiding you. I just usually forget about it during the week, so I need to set an alarm to do it. I'm not even gonna stunt. I'm not even gonna cap on it. I've had multiple opportunities. Hey man, I'm gonna get it to you. Don't worry about it. Appreciate you guys for showing love. Appreciate everybody for the well wishes. Y'all stay safe out there. We'll be back here tomorrow, prepping for the beginning of the Buccaneers versus Bears. You said of what?
Beginning of the end. All right, bro. Get off the line. We gotta go.
Y'all stay safe out of Chicago.